Good afternoon. This is the Elliott Wave daily update for the S&P 500, being recorded on Monday, October the 6th at 3:15 approximately, Pacific Daylight Time. Um, Markets continue, in my view, to be more corrective than impulsive. If it is turning into that impulse, which is my alternate count would include an impulse in the form of a minute fifth wave going up, but that minute fifth wave itself, I believe, would be this wave one here, because the four would come down there, and this would be wave one. Minuet, wave one of minute wave five. And it is breaking into a diagonal. And this would be one, two, that would be three, and we're working the four. And it could come down, go up, we could come back down equal or go slightly below that low, which is 67.54. We have 67.38, which is where the hourly 200 is, 200 period moving average. And that could, and then we come back up because overlap, yep, we can have it. And therefore, we'd just probably just start it to overlap if we got down to there. One, two, three, four coming down. It can overlap. Um, and you kind of do expect it. And then go back up into five and minuet wave one. Now, what also would tip that, again, as I've been discussing, this is 1.382. If that B wave is going to end here, or maybe one more trip, but it gets up to 68.10 and it finishes it, and the C wave gets moved over, and then it's done, and then the B wave goes there. But what's going to be the difference is it meets that same fate like it did here at 6,800, just up a little bit more, and this time they do keep going. So whatever was going to push it then will push even harder. I think we have to remember today was a lot of AMD getting a huge injection of capital as OpenAI decided that yes, they cut a deal and for AI development and chips. So pretty wild. And so what we had was AMD. Well, right now it is up 41 from yesterday's close, but from this close, it's still showing 39. But my point is that the stock was up 50 early on, and that was unexpected. I mean, I don't read every finite blog post or everything that has to deal with maybe AMD on its own or that sector or others that would have said, oh, yeah, watch out, AMD's in talks with OpenAI. But they came through, and it was a surprise. More so for the NASDAQ than here. And that's all about the weighting. But it did. It held it higher all day. So same deal. I'm just going to look at it technically, and I'm looking at it on an Elliott wave basis. I'm keeping both very much alive. The preferred, which is still what's showing, it's going to be very easy to change it to the alternate because I would take that down, put the four here, and start counting this number instead of letters. Like the letters, I can put the B wave there, and then we come down in a C wave. Numbers takes us, the four is there, and we're in minute wave five, and we're in the very first part of it called minuet wave one. So once it would get up there, and it's a little bit difficult to kind of say, well, where can it go? Because if we have to consider this is one, this is two, this is three, this is four, and we're in that fifth of one, so to speak. Or we get this as A, a B, and a C. If I drop it down to the 15th, you're going to see why it really can be an A, a B, and a C. Look at the inside of this thing, right? It in itself is an ABC up. So if anything, we're going to have A, B coming down in a C. And while I would label it ABC, on numbers, it's going to come out as 4. So again, within this diagonal, these change. Let me go back up. Those change. Instead of letters, they become numbers. Still ABCs all internally, but they become numbers. And this becomes an ABC, and this becomes a number. So this would be ABC, and it would be a 4. If not, if this C holds and the B wave comes down, this is kind of like 1 ABC2. Not a lot of room, by the way, not a lot of room because that high is 67.97, 70, 67.98. That high is 6,800. 2 points that we're up at new highs. So it's not that long of a wait before the market would be able to tell us, okay, that's not this, it's this. So either way, I kind of look at it. I'm thinking that we can go up, and we're going up in a sloppy 5. So again, threes everywhere. So it keeps it, in my mind, corrective or diagonal. So that's the other place where we find threes on top of threes on top of threes within a diagonal. And it could be there. But to call it is like saying, oh, I think it's going to go down because there's the B wave, and then you see what happened. So you got to keep both sides, and I have kept both sides going, and I'm going to continue for right now. Now, um, what else? There's really not much else to be adding. I want to just give you some picks. If indeed this is 4 and we're working the 5 now, you'd have to run that here to here to here if that's the 4. Or, if it only comes down and it just equals it, it's still going to be in this area. So where's the 5? Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5 to finish minuet wave 1. Well, the same thing applies. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 should equal 1. Well, 68, 64, but guess what? It goes back up into 3. So if this is the 4, and this could be 618, 68, 21, certainly breaking that and getting up there, and we still probably would roll with it. Because 1.382 is pretty hard. In my mind, it's like that's pretty much as high as an irregular B wave should go. So here, and then I would think here, but there's the 100%. Wave 5 equals wave 1, if that's wave 4. It might be a little bit lower, right? If we get that this 4 comes down, like we have an A, B, and a C, and that comes down, and it takes out that A, which would also be labeled 1, it's quite all right because wave 4 would be expected to overlap wave 1. So either way, we can come all the way down, and that's going to pull that down to where this 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth wave should come in. So we got that to work with. Also, you adjust it if it comes down and then it starts to rally again, you just throw that over. So here's what I'm looking for. A clean break above 68.10, 75 or 68.11. A clean break where any pullbacks get held there until we get up into a resistance zone that we have pegged that could complete the wave 5. Then we'll start looking for that. We're looking for the wave 5. And there's our markers. Again, if it comes down and we get lower than that and we overlap, then fine, pull your finishing point down to it. Same calculation, just from the different level. And you're going to get where your wave 5 should be there. If we're topping this and putting a B wave, I'm going to get rid of this for right now. Then what I'm looking for is A or 1, 2, come down. Come down. It would be a third. We'd be looking for, they're not looking behind, they're only looking forward and for bids. And they're going to hit all the way down. Now, I'm going to wait for tomorrow on any discussion on gamma levels because I think the market probably held quite a few of them. Obviously, it held 6,800 in the SPX, and that was the call wall. So, and 68.54 actually was the call wall in here. Or I believe that was. All right, enough said with all of that. Now, tomorrow again, I don't think we have anything that's going to be reported because the government is still closed. So, economic data, Tuesday, U.S. trade deficit, that's the one I don't know. Consumer credit, I think they will report. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Fed governors or Fed officials out speaking tomorrow. So that's the big deal. And I'm already saying I already see an asterisk up at the U.S. trade deficit, which is going to tell me not going to come out because the country is, the government is shut down. So, I mean, they're going all the way out. So next week they're still saying consumer price index. They put an asterisk there, and it's like you never know, how long this is all going to take. So no government provided economic data tomorrow. Just a bunch of feds. All right, I'm going to complete it right there. Our next update will be tomorrow morning.